Think your old dollar coin is just spare change? Think again. Some US $1 coins are so rare, they've sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions. Today, we're revealing the top 3 ultra-rare $1 coins you should know about. One might be hiding in your collection. Have you ever found a golden-colored dollar coin and just tossed it aside, thinking it's not worth much? Well, what if I told you that some of these coins could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Today, we're going to talk about the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin, a coin that might look common but could actually be a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's start with a little bit of history. In the year 2000, the U.S. Mint released a brand new $1 coin to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar. They wanted something fresh, something that would honor American history and be easier to tell apart from other coins. That's when they introduced the Sacagawea dollar. This coin features a beautiful image of Sacagawea, the Native American woman who helped guide the Lewis and Clark expedition. She is shown carrying her baby, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. The coin has a soft golden color, but it's not made of real gold. Instead, it's made of a mix of metals, mainly copper with a layer of manganese brass. Now, in 2000, the Mint produced a lot of these coins, over 500 million of them. The Denver Mint, marked with a small d on the coin, made more than 500 million coins alone. So yes, most of the 2000 Sacagawea coins are very common and usually worth just face value $1. But that's not the full story. Some special coins from that year have unique features, rare errors, or even were struck using experimental techniques that make them worth much more. And that's what we're going to explore today. So don't leave just yet, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to check your Sacagawea dollar to see if it's a rare collector's item worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's begin with the regular 2000 coin. If your coin is worn, has scratches, and looks like it's been used a lot, it's probably only worth $1. But if it's shiny, clean, and looks brand new, it might be worth a little more, maybe a few dollars to collectors. These higher quality coins are called mint state coins. The higher the grade, the better the condition, and the more it's worth. If your coin has been graded MS67 or higher by companies like PCGS or NGC, it could be worth $50 to $300 or more, depending on how perfect it looks. The top-graded 2000 Sacagawea coins, especially MS68 or better, can sometimes sell for $1,000 or more at auctions. So even if your coin looks new, it's worth taking a closer look. But now, let's get into the really exciting stuff, the rare errors and varieties. One of the most famous and valuable versions of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar is called the Cheerios dollar. Now, this is not just any dollar. In early 2000, the U.S. Mint teamed up with General Mills and placed 5,500 special Sacagawea dollars inside boxes of Cheerios cereal as part of a promotion. These Cheerios dollars were actually test coins that had a special design on the eagle's tail feathers on the back of the coin. The feathers are more detailed and sharp compared to the normal design. If you somehow got one of these coins and still have it, it could be worth $2,000 to $10,000, depending on condition. But here's the thing, most Cheerios dollars were made at the Philadelphia Mint, not Denver. So while it's almost impossible to find a 2000 Cheerios dollar, it's still good to check just in case, because mistakes can happen at the Mint. Now, let's talk about errors. Sometimes coins are made with mistakes at the U.S. Mint. These errors can be really valuable to collectors. For the 2000 Sacagawea coin, some known errors include off-center strikes, where the design is not centered properly. Double dies, where part of the design looks doubled. Wrong planchet errors, where the coin is struck on the wrong type of metal. In very rare cases, Sacagawea dollars were struck on planchets meant for other coins, like state quarters. These error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the type and how dramatic the mistake is. So if your coin looks weird or different in any way, it might be worth something. One of the most famous and rarest errors from the year 2000 is the mule error. This happened when a Sacagawea dollar was accidentally struck with the back side of a Washington quarter. That's right, one side has Sacagawea, and the other side has the eagle from a quarter. Only a few of these were ever found, and one sold for over $150,000 at auction. That's not a typo, $150,000 for one coin. While this was not a 2000D specifically, it's a reminder that big mistakes can turn ordinary coins into valuable collectibles. So what should you do if you think your 2000D Sacagawea dollar is special? First, look at the condition. If it's shiny and scratch-free, it might already be worth more than face value. Then, check for anything unusual like doubling, strange edges, or off-center designs. If you see anything odd, you can take your coin to a coin dealer or send it to a grading service. It costs a little money, but if your coin is worth a lot, it's definitely worth it. Also, check the back of the coin. Look closely at the eagle's feathers. If they look more detailed than normal, you might have a rare variety. You can compare your coin to pictures online to see if it matches the rare types. And don't forget, even if your coin isn't rare, it's still a fun part of history. The Sacagawea dollar was made to honor a brave Native American woman who helped explore America. That makes it special all by itself. So, before you spend that golden dollar, take a closer look. It might be just $1 or it might be a hidden treasure worth thousands. You never know until you check. That's right. I'm talking about the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony $1 coin. It's not just a regular old coin. Some of them are super rare and very valuable to collectors. Now, before we get into how to spot the valuable one, let's talk a little about the history of this coin. In 1979, the U.S. Mint wanted to make a smaller and easier-to-use dollar coin. The big Eisenhower dollar was too large and heavy, so they made a new one. This time, they chose to honor Susan B. Anthony, a famous woman who fought for women's rights. She was the first real woman to be featured on a U.S. coin used for everyday spending. The coin was the same color as a quarter and only a little bigger, which caused confusion. A lot of people didn't like it, and it didn't stay in use for very long. But even though people didn't love using the coin, collectors would later discover that some of these coins were special. Here's where it gets interesting. Most of the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony coins are common. They were made in large numbers and are not worth much more than face value. But a small number of these coins have something different about them, and that little detail makes them worth a lot of money. This special version is called the wide rim or near date variety. And here's how you can spot it. Take a close look at the date on the front of the coin. That's the side with Susan B. Anthony's face. You'll see the year, 1979, written at the bottom. On most coins, the number 1 in 1979 is pretty far from the edge or rim of the coin. But on the rare, wide rim variety, the date is much closer to the edge. It almost touches the rim. That's why it's sometimes called the near date coin. This small difference is what makes the wide rim variety rare. The U.S. Mint made this version for only a short time in 1979 before switching to the more common version with a smaller rim. Most people don't even know the difference, but collectors do, and they're willing to pay a lot for a nice one. So how much are these coins worth? If you have a 1979 P wide rim Susan B. Anthony dollar in regular, use condition, something that's been in circulation, it could be worth around $100 to $500. But if the coin is in really good shape, what collectors call mint state, it could be worth much more. Some coins that look brand new and have been graded by professional coin experts have sold for $1,000, $2,000, and even over $6,000 at auctions. And in some very rare cases, coins in perfect condition have sold for more than $10,000. Imagine turning a $1 coin into 10 grand. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if my coin is in mint condition? First, check if the coin still has a shiny surface and no scratches or damage. Then, if you think your coin might be valuable, you can send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will look at your coin, give it a grade from 1 to 70, and put it in a sealed holder. A higher grade means better condition, and a higher value. But the wide rim isn't the only thing to look for. There are a few other 1979 Susan B. Anthony coins that can also be worth good money. For example, the 1979 S-proof coins made for collectors have two types of mint marks. Type 2 has a clearer and more polished S mint mark. Those coins can sell for $200 or more, depending on condition. There are also error coins, ones that were made incorrectly at the mint. If you find a coin that looks off-center, has missing parts, or doubled letters, it could be a mint error. These coins are very collectible and can also sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So what should you do if you think you found a rare 1979 Susan B. Anthony coin? First, don't spend it. Take a good, close-up photo of the coin and compare it to pictures online of the wide rim and narrow rim versions. You can also use a magnifying glass or zoom in with your phone camera. If it looks like the date is really close to the edge, you might have the wide rim variety. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. The fewer marks or scratches it has, the better. Then, if you're feeling confident, consider getting it graded by a professional service. Once it's graded, you'll know exactly how much it could be worth, and it'll be easier to sell it to a collector or at an auction. You can sell valuable coins on websites like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. But make sure you know what you have first. Don't sell it for just $1 without checking. You could be giving away a small fortune. To wrap this up, the 1979 piece Susan B. Anthony dollar might look like pocket change, but some of these coins are true hidden treasures. The wide rim version is the key to big value, and with just a few minutes of checking, you might find that you're holding on to a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So go through your change, check your drawers, and look inside old coin jars. That boring old dollar might just be your lucky coin. Let's start with the basics. The coin we're talking about is the 2009 Sacagawea $1 coin, also known as the Native American dollar. It's golden in color, but no, it's not made of real gold. It's mostly copper with a special outer layer that gives it that shiny golden look. On the front of the coin, you'll see Sacagawea, the Native American woman who helped guide Lewis and Clark across the American frontier. She's shown carrying her baby on her back. But the back of the coin, that's where things get different starting in 2009. You see, in 2009, the U.S. Mint introduced a new series called the Native American $1 coin program. Every year, the back of the coin features a new design that celebrates the history, culture, and contributions of Native American people. So while Sacagawea always stays on the front, the reverse changes every year. For 2009, the first year of this program, the back of the coin shows a Native American woman planting seeds in a field of corn, beans, and squash. This image represents the early Native American farming techniques, also known as the Three Sisters planting method. The design is simple, but meaningful. And because it's the first year of this new series, collectors are especially interested in it. The P on your coin stands for Philadelphia, which is where the coin was made. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia made over 39 million of these coins in 2009. That sounds like a lot, and it is, which means that most 2009 Sacagawea dollars are not rare. If your coin has been used and has scratches or wear, it's probably only worth about $1. The first thing to look at is condition. If your coin looks brand new, shiny, clean, with no marks, then it might be worth more. Collectors call this condition mint state. The best way to know for sure is to send your coin to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin and give it a grade on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. A 2009 Sacagawea coin in MS65 to MS67 condition could sell for $5 to $30, depending on the buyer. But in MS68, which is a very high grade, it could be worth $100 or more. And if you're lucky enough to have a perfect MS69 that's just 1 point away from perfect, you could be looking at $300 or even more, because those are very hard to find. Now, let's talk about special varieties and errors. This is where the real value could be hiding. Sometimes, mistakes happen at the mint. These mistakes are called mint errors, and collectors love them. A few examples of errors that can occur on the 2009 Sacagawea dollar include off-center strikes, where the design is not lined up properly. Double dies, where part of the design looks like it has been stamped twice. Missing edge lettering, which is one of the most talked about errors for these coins. That last one is important. Starting in 2007, all Sacagawea and Native American dollars were supposed to have edge lettering. That means the year, mint mark, and the words E pluribus unum are written on the side of the coin, not the front or back, but the edge. But sometimes, the mint forgot to add it. These are called missing edge lettering errors, and they're rare. If you have a 2009 Sacagawea dollar with no edge lettering at all, it could be worth $50 to $300, depending on condition and demand. So be sure to check the edge of your coin carefully. Hold it sideways and look for those small letters. If they're not, they're jackpot. You may have an error coin that's worth much more than $1. Also, keep an eye out for partial edge lettering, where only part of the text is stamped. These are also collectible, though usually not as valuable as the fully missing ones. And one more thing, a very small number of coins might show planchet errors, meaning the metal blank used to strike the coin wasn't quite right. These coins can have cracks, missing parts, or uneven coloring. If you find a coin that looks weird or feels odd, it might be one of these errors. So what should you do if you think your 2009 Sacagawea coin is valuable? Step 2. Check the edge. Does it have the lettering, or is it missing? Step 3. Look for anything strange or unusual. If the coin looks different, off-center, or has doubled parts of the design, it could be an error coin. Step 4. Compare it with trusted online sources or take it to a local coin shop. They can help you figure out if you've got something special. Step 5. If it looks promising, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, your coin could sell for much more, especially to serious collectors. Even if your coin isn't a rare variety or doesn't have an error, it's still a fun and beautiful piece of American history. The 2009 Sacagawea dollar is part of a larger story, one that honors Native American contributions, art, and culture. So the next time you see a golden dollar coin in your change, don't ignore it. Take a minute, flip it over, and look closely. You might just have a 2009 Sacagawea treasure in your hand.